There was such a nice moment, an anecdote at the start of the launch event yesterday where I was in a small queue to enter the building and the two people in front of me were like, I wonder if there's going to be before and after photos. And then their friend responded and was like, that would be great, it'd be wonderful to see the journey this building's been on. And I kind of did a little celebration behind them, like, yes, I have a captive audience. And that kind of set the tone for how the launch event was yesterday evening. It was pretty special to see all these people in the courts without hard hats on. There was such a good buzz and excitement around the building, and the speeches that happened really hit all of the nails on the head for what this building's meant to resemble and why it was a special marker that we've got to this point. Hitting nails on the head is probably quite a good segue into talking about the final process of this exhibition, where I spent 2 days at the start of this week in my own little world in the cells. It was hard enough picking out 12 photos to kind of resemble the journey of the building and to kind of give the fragments that I feel are important to the story and of the energy change that's happened over the last 2 years. That was its own task. And then it kind of felt like matchmaking, picking out these prints and combining them with old pieces of the courts that they either intertwined with and kind of formed one whole piece or juxtaposed a bit with and stuck out from. And so this speaks volumes about Creative Youth Network's kind of attitude towards empowering young creatives, in that I spent 2 days downstairs in the cells cleaning all these pieces of wood with the help from a couple of members of CYN, putting legs onto them. But the first time that people as part of the kind of creative team at Creative Youth Network saw which prints I'd picked was when they walked into the exhibition and it was ready. And the fact that I was given that level of trust and freedom, and the fact that I could just spend 2 days in the cells making them all, and the only times that I kind of spoke about them was when I came upstairs to chat to other people. Being given that space and freedom was really empowering, and I feel very invested and attached to the courts and this photo project anyway. But when you're given that kind of scope and freedom for the final stage of something, it's made me even more invested in how the exhibition came together and how people receive and interact with it. And that was a kind of really purposeful decision upon my part, that when thinking about how to exhibit these photos, it would have felt out of kilter with the vibe of the courts to put them in nice frames and pop them on the walls, because that's quite passive, that's quite kind of people strolling around and a bit of head nodding, whereas that's not the energy of this building. We want people to come in and feel like it's their space and that they can kind of shape what happens in the building and have that impact on it. And so I decided to make the exhibition freestanding. And then it was a nice kind of light bulb moment when I found this whole cell downstairs full of all these old discarded pieces of wood that weren't being used in the build anymore. And I hope that the resulting exhibition embodies that kind of active energy that we want people to feel when they come into the courts. It was great yesterday evening seeing people kind of dropping a shoulder and getting a different angle so that you can see a different layer of prints and of the building's journey, and then swapping that angle and getting something else from it. And just the fact that you can walk around it and look at the panels of wood from behind it. It's an exhibition where it encourages you to be present and be a part of it and find your own perspectives. And that just chimes really nicely with what this building's all about.